talking about brand real quick, because one of the things that you've done really well also is just brand yourself. So where did the flamingo come from?
Well, I always stuck to, again, this came back to researching agents from the very beginning. And I remember, I researched agents across the entire country. And I found this one guy in Australia, and his entire brand was like pink. And he had like bus stations and little cars. And I was like, that is so cool. Can't wait to find the drive, because I talk about him and I have no idea what his name was. And then there was another guy, Kyle Whistle in California. And then he had an orange brand. And then I was like, you know what? We're just going to go pink. So everything I did was pink. Like dresses were pink. My nails were pink, my business cards were pink, everything was pink. And then I remember I did my first client event, which was a puppy pop-up event, which, God, was 9 years ago tomorrow.
Wow.
Now that I think about it. It was my 30th birthday.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, it was my 30th birthday, and it was a puppy event open to the public for adoption. And someone walked up to me and they said, "You must be Tara." And I said, "How do you know?" And they said, "You're wearing pink."
Oh,
and
wow.
I was like, that was only 6 months of consistency.
Wow.
You know, and I remember that I was in this community, I wanted to be a certified divorce specialist, because I figured that was like 2 to 3 minimum deals. So I became one. Right. And I remember the woman who I respected very much, and I wanted her to be my mentor. She looked at me one time and she said, "You know, I think the pink brand you have is like a little immature." And it really bothered me that I almost I really thought it was, and I was like, maybe I shouldn't do that anymore. And I didn't listen.
Good.
And so then when it started to work, because I was consistent, then you can get creative once you're consistent. And so then I said, well, what's pink? And someone said the flamingo. And I said, no. That is like the Florida lottery symbol and the plastic things outside the mobile homes. Like, we ain't doing that. Like, not happening. So then I looked at the meaning of flamingos, and they symbolize elegance and beauty, but they're the bird that is also the most social and family-oriented, and the bird that lives the longest in its category of birds.
Wow.
So I looked at the family and I said, we're one big flock.
Yep.
We are flamazing, and we're going to flamingo all around town, and we're changing everything.
And it works, because I never not, every time I see a flamingo, you're the first person that pops into my head.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful thing, honestly. You've really done a really good job with that, because you did it very, very classy, but also in a very fun way. It's very fun, because you say, let's flamingo. Every time, you do I see you on the video, let's flamingo. It's just something that stays, and it's fun, and it's light.
I think it also speaks to my core values and belief systems too, right? They stand on one leg to stay balanced, and sometimes we need to be reset to really be balanced. And the greater flamingo is the largest species of a flamingo, and that one flamingo is kind of like the one that also mothers the others, and the mothers have to feed the babies because they're white, and it depends on what are they feeding their souls and insides in order to actually get the pinker color. And the more that they eat in order to get that pink color, the more nourishments that they give, then that's how they become more vibrant. And it's just all like
the whole thing.
It's little. I'm like a walking flamingo.
I love that. No, it really, and you connect with it, and other people connect you to it.
Yeah.
We name our team is called the Gulfstream team, and the reason why we named it that is because years ago, my father-in-law, who was an engineer, a very, very smart man, and he told me that if you can harness the power of the Gulf Stream, you can power the entire United States.
Wow.
It's so powerful that anything that gets in the way of the Gulf Stream has to go with it, or it doesn't survive. So when we think about when we coming into when we came into this market a few years ago, my partner and I, we sat down and I was like, we're the Gulf Stream, because what we're going to do is we're going to pierce the market, we're going to thrive in it, and whoever tries to get in our way is just not going to make it. And we changed it, and now we're the Gulfstream team, but it resonates with me just like a flamingo resonates with you, because that memory of sitting with my father-in-law telling me how powerful the Gulfstream is and that you can't disrupt it. You either go with it or you have to get out.
I love that. And that's the same thing with the flock that's growing right now. And it's really, really cool to attract the tribe that you want, that wants to become part of the flock.
Yes. Yeah, and align with it.
Yeah.
Align with the direction that you're going. We kept saying sometimes you hear a lot of negativity, and my partner Troy and I always say, just put your blinders on, don't listen to it, just
blinders.
keep going.
Amen.
Just keep going.
Oh, amen. Blinders are key.
Yeah, a lot of distraction.
Yeah.
A lot of distraction if you let it. If you can, a lot of things can come at us, but if we just stay focused on what we're doing, and for us it's just being the Gulf Stream, and for you it's your flamingoing flock.
That and never taking advice from anybody who hasn't done it 10 times better than you and whatever they're telling you.
That is probably one of the best things ever. Seriously.
I love when like the new agents get together and they're like, you should really do this.
Yeah.
And like, that's not really a good idea. I think you should do this. And I'm like, why are we taking it? Have they done it?
Right.
Did they do it 100 times?
Yes.
And they've mastered it? Mm-hmm. Then if not, then why are we listening to them?
Right.
It's water cooler talk for a distraction that you don't want to do the work that you need to do, which are the basics.
Right.